Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be going over the new Chanel Fall Winter 2021 collection. I have the blush here. I have the two lipsticks, and I'm going to be lip swatching both of those. I have two shades of the liquid eyeshadows. I'm going to be using one of them today. And I have two shades of the eye stylo, and I'm going to use both of those today. I also got one of the nail polishes, so I'm going to do a quick little nail swatch of that as well. So if you'd like to see all of that, just keep on watching. All right, I think I want to start with the eyes. So I have two of the Contour Stylo Ombres. I have Contour Beige, which is that one right there, and Contour Kaki, is that one right there. So these were the two colors that appealed to me most. And I think today I want to use Contour Beige. I'm going to put this on first because I'm really curious to see how it blends out and what this color looks like. And I'm going to put one of these liquid eyeshadows on top. So starting out with Contour Beige, I'm just going to basically, I think, just kind of smudge it all over the lid. Very creamy formula, but I'm just going to do one eye at a time because I don't know how fast these are going to set down. So I'm taking my Sonia G worker brush from the Lotus set and just blending that all out. Blending very easily, and the color is looking nice and even. I really love this type of color for just kind of an everyday makeup because it adds a little bit of definition around the eyes, but it doesn't really look heavy because it's still quite a light color. Just blending it out with the same brush on the lower lash line as well. I think that's really nice. So I'm going to do the same with the other eye, and then I'll be back to try out one of the liquid eyeshadows and the rest of what I've got here. So I was thinking that this, the beige contour might be quite similar to my Vive Eye Wand in Sand. And this is another one. I just really have been loving this for every day. So I wanted to compare them. All right, so Sand is a lighter tone than the beige, but I think they give a very similar effect on the eyes. I just want to add in a new swatch of the Contour Beige and blend it out and see how they compare when they're really just blended in. And I think they look pretty similar once they're blended. That's the Chanel and that's the Vive one. The Vive, I think, dries down faster. It's a less creamy formula, but it's really easy to work with too. So that's what the Contour Beige looks like all on its own. And I think I'm going to be getting quite a lot of use out of that. And now I want to try one of these lid laques. I have two shades. I have Lamé Bronze and Lamé Pourpre. So I'm just going to swatch them both. All right, so there they are. That's obviously Lamé Pourpre. That's Lamé Bronze. The bronze one is really, I think, more of a khaki. I think it goes really well with the khaki stylo. So I'm just gonna swatch that next to it. Yeah, those match really nicely. But today I think I am gonna use the khaki one on my lids. That's just the mood I'm in. But I will make sure to use this another time, but at least you can see what the color is there. I think it's a really nice sort of rusty red type of color. So for the laque, I'm just going to maybe concentrate it a little bit more on that part and just sort of blend and see what happens. I've never used this formula before. I'm going to use the same brush, the worker. Okay, so I think it dries down quite quickly. You need to work pretty fast with that formula, at least on top of the stylo. It may behave a little bit differently if it's just going right onto the lid. All right, so I don't find it the most even application. It's a little bit sort of patchy in spots, and I think that could be because it's on top of the stylo. So in the future, I'm gonna have to try this on its own. So I finished filming and I just really wanted to try these on their own on the lids to see if I was still gonna get that issue with patchiness. So I'm gonna just do one on each eye and do a quick little demo of each one. So I'm gonna try the rust one on my left eye. All right, so that definitely blended out better than the bronze one did on top of the stylo, but it's still not quite even. I can see that there's like this shape here that's a little bit darker. It's not super shiny, but it's a pretty color. And then let's try the bronze one on the other eye. And I'm gonna try this time blending with my finger. Just go in with the brush and see if I can get those edges better. No, I'm really not having luck with this bronze one. It dries very, very quickly. Try just adding a little bit more. No, you see how it's patching up when I try to blend it? Got a big kind of clump of it there and then nothing on other patches of the lid. And I'm trying to work really quickly, but it's just, I mean, it's basically dried down now and you can see it's extremely patchy. So the bronze one, I'm not having much luck with. This is something I'm gonna have to play with more and try to figure out if I can find a way to make it work, but that's pretty unacceptable to me, the way that looks. So I have to play around with that more. If you have any tips for working with these, just let me know, because as I said, I've never tried this formula before. This one worked out pretty nicely, but this one, no. I'm gonna take the khaki stylo and just use it as an eyeliner. And taking my builder brush, just blending that a little tiny bit. And that stylo makes really quick and easy work of a nice sort of smoky, smudgy liner. So that's what the eyes look like. I think I'll leave them at that and then move on to the blush. So there's one blush that's part of this collection. It's called Ombré, and it's quite an interesting looking color. It's almost kind of like a browny beige color. So I was really curious to see how this would look on the face. So I'm gonna take my Sonia G Lotus Cheek brush and just go right into this powder. It appears to be fully matte. I don't see any shimmers or anything in there. Oh, I like that. It's It's just a really nice nude kind of blush, and I actually don't find it overly warm, which I was a little concerned that it might pull a bit orange on me. But I think it really matches the name ombre. You know, ombre means shadow, and it's just adding a nice kind of shadow and a little bit of color, but in a very subtle, beautiful way. I'll put some on my forehead. It's quite nice actually, because you can kind of use it as a bronzer and blush in one. Just has that really forgiving kind of tone. So I'm just taking it down a little bit lower than I would normally put my blush, so it can fill those two roles, bronzer and blush. I find this a very buildable formula and color. I only have one other Chanel blush that's in this kind of packaging. It's the one that's kind of a bright red color, and that one I have to use a very, very light hand because it's very pigmented and goes on quite strong, but I prefer this type of process with the blush, which is just to build it really nice and gradually. So that's what the blush looks like. And now last but not least, we have the lips. So I'm gonna lip swatch both of these. I'll start with the one I was most excited about, which is number 74, Low Key. So this is kind of a really fun peachy pink color, and although I have a lot of peachy pink lipsticks, I thought this looked just a little bit different from anything else that I have. So let's see how this one looks. So I think the formula of these is the Rouge Allure Velvet, and it's really just quite almost like a hybrid satin matte formula. Doesn't really look matte, but it's not super shiny either like a lot of satins are. So that's what Low Key looks like. I think that's a really beautiful color. It is, it's just a little bit different from I think anything else that I have. I like how it's vibrant, but it is, again, that kind of goes with its name. It's also a little bit low key, so it's really nicely balanced color. And then the other lipstick is the shade Mode, and it's a red color, kind of a brick red, which again, I thought was a little bit different from anything else that I have. And this is what Mode looks like. Again, I think this is a gorgeous color. I love the finish of these because it's really sort of in between a satin and a matte. It looks really nice on the lips. The colors are really beautifully saturated. I think these are both really beautiful colors. I'm gonna swatch them on my hand just so you can see them side by side. So there they are. There's Mode, and that's Low Key. I really like the idea of having Low Key in a fall collection because it kind of seems like it would be more of a spring or summer color, but it's really nice to see that color in a fall collection. And it is just that little bit toned down where I think it is suitable for the fall season as well. I was really curious to see how Low Key would compare to Kitten Mischief from Lisa Eldridge. So there's Kitten Mischief, there's Low Key. Very similar colors, and I guess that explains why I like Low Key so much, because I love Kitten Mischief. Kitten Mischief is a tiny touch cooler, whereas there's a little bit more of a rusty orange undertone added into the Low Key shade, but very similar colors there. I don't think I really have any shades that really resemble this Mode shade. I'm going to pull out Velvet Dragon, but I think that Velvet Dragon is much more orange than this, but I just want to see how they compare. All right, there's Velvet Dragon compared to the Chanel lipstick. And yes, Velvet Dragon is more orangey and more warm than Mode from Chanel, which is just a little bit more leaning into the red category, although it is definitely a bricky type of color. I also got one of the nail polishes. I haven't had a chance to paint my nails with this yet. I guess I'll try. I'll just do a little tester on one nail to see how it looks. I like the whole vibe of this collection. It's very fall, winter. I think it's very suitable for the season. And it gives you those types of, you know, more muted, toned down colors, but they're also really interesting colors. Like they've got an interesting take on how they do a gray. It's kind of like a warm gray, and I can see a little bit of green in there. And you know, the khaki, the bronzy brown khaki is really interesting, and the rusty reds. I just think it's a really beautiful, cohesive, and inspiring collection for fall and winter, even though it's not even the end of July yet. It's a little bit early to be doing fall winter, but I'm looking forward to using these even more in those seasons. So that's just one coat of that nail polish. I forgot to tell you the name. The name of this shade is Beige Cendré, number 909. So I think that means beige ash, beige cinders. So that's quite an interesting concept for a color, and I really like how that looks. I'm sure it will build up more with another coat, of course, but I just wanted to do a quick little nail swatch so we could see what that looks like. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope it was helpful for you if you've been interested in this collection. Just to round up my thoughts, I love both of the lipsticks. I love the eye stylos. I think those are both really great. And the Laque, I'm just gonna have to try these again sort of on their own, not over top of one of those stylos, because I did get a little bit of patchiness with this color. And the blush I really love. It's just such a beautiful, subtle, natural, neutral color. I'm just gonna show you a little swatch of it. It's right there. And I appreciate how buildable it is and that it doesn't pull orange on my skin. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to see those. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you'd like to see more from me, I would really love for you to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.